Hello and welcome to Warhammer Workshop preview review. Have we chosen a name for this?
No, no, but that'll do.
Yeah. My name is JF Dubois, and I am with Daniora, Amy Frost, my partner in crime as far as these are going to be concerned. And we are here today to review the first set of announcements from Games Workshop on Warhammer Day. It is currently Wednesday, May 4th. I know there's a Star Wars thing going on. I haven't been paying attention to all the Star Wars. That's not true. I have, but the point being, right now, what we're here to talk about is Games Workshop's 40K Warhammer 40K announcement and preview that they put up today. It was exciting? Question mark.
Yeah, it was not what I was expecting. Certainly, I don't entirely know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. Certainly.
It was close to what I was expecting.
I mean, we hit the categories of what we were expecting, but some of the details were a little different.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. Like, to me, it was exactly what I expected. Because I expected them to go into League of Votaan. They did. I kind of wanted them to go deeper, but I didn't expect them to have a full release either because we kind of knew it was going to be a Chaos Space Marine thing.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the box of what Chaos Space Marines are as far as previews, I'm so detached from that part of the 40K lore and hobby that anything went, really. It's like, oh, it's going to be the generic Chaos Space Marine Codex. What's going to be in there? A new tank? Certainly some new Marines, new Berserkers. Like, there's so many possibilities, and none of them are really possibilities I cared about.
Sure.
Though, that being said, again, Games Workshop has kind of managed to get me excited about things I have no business being excited about.
They're good at that, I feel.
They're too good. See, this makes this guy very angry.
It's problematic.
It's problematic.
Because this was not something that you were thinking about anyway, but here we are. Here we are with Chaos.
So you want to get into it?
I want to get into it because one of the first things that they announced, and I was very excited about it because they have needed this for a long time. It's new Chaos Cultists. What I like about them is when we were watching the preview, you were saying that like these could be a Necromunda gang with zero alterations.
I want to alter this.
Okay. All right.
I don't think they could be. I think they should be.
All right. That's fair.
There is no reason for them not to get a little set of rules.
All right.
For that to happen.
And what I like about these is that they have very clearly taken a page out of the Sigmar side of Chaos, where a lot of the humans that worship Chaos in Age of Sigmar have amazing models, whereas on the 40K side, it has been that box of 5 monopose cultists for just about as long as I've been playing the game. And now we've got all of these new, exciting, dynamic models. Yeah, I'm pretty into these guys.
And this is very emblematic of my relationship with Chaos in general. I think they're neat, but I don't care. Yet, we'll get to a part where I start caring a whole hell of a lot, though. One of the things I noticed about looking at the models is, right now they all have these masks.
Mm-hmm.
And I am curious moving forward if we will or not discover if these masks are either optional or if they have alternative heads without masks. They definitely look like they're part of a cult because they have a uniform.
Yeah. I bet. I don't know. Head options have been pretty good lately in terms of offerings for models. I mean, they don't take up a ton of sprue space. They're not particularly complicated to sculpt.
I bet they're fun to sculpt.
I bet they are, especially Chaos ones, right? Because you are not bound by the typical rules of anatomy.
Exactly. And any moment that you feel like, this is okay, but it's missing something, you just slap some horns on it
Yeah,
and you're
no
done.
problem.
Exactly.
So the exciting thing here is that cultists, all right, that's fine, and then we find out that there is cultist escalation, because from here we get the accursed cultist mutants. So
See,
these are when the gods love you a little too hard.
Yeah. This is like when have you like we just went through Easter. So have you ever like absolutely fallen in love as a child with one of your chocolate animals? It's as if you hugged it a little. It just either melts from your body heat or cracks or both.
Now, I think it was my friend Sam who had sent it to me, and it's a story that is written in the form of diary entries of a Chaos Space Marine new recruit.
I may have sent
Was it you?
that.
And that is all I can
I sent
think
it to a lot of
about.
people. I can't guarantee I sent it to you.
That's all I can think about with these guys, right? Because that whole story, it'll just be like, well, George woke up and was a fly today, so
It's
guess that
it's
happened.
very. I love that story because it's Dread Diary, and it basically tells about how, oh man, George has a tentacle now. I am so jealous. I hope I get a tentacle too.
And this is these people.
Yeah, that's those are the guys.
If you told me they read that, I would 100% believe it.
I kind of hope Games Workshop read Diary of a Chaos Space Marine, because it is one of the greatest work of non-official Games Workshop fiction out there. It is a beautiful freaking document, and it is long too.
It is. It's so
a lot of
good.
love went into it.
So from here, you'd think, oh, this is horrible. These are horrible, but it gets worse because we have the accursed cultist torments.
This is where, okay, so if this is a slope, the previous image is where I kind of noticed a little slick of oil.
Yes.
This is the part where I start losing my balance.
Yeah.
Because a little bit of bio for people who don't know me. I write horror, not for a living, because being an author is difficult, but I do publish horror novels. And the absolute freaking terror of seeing these mortal people, these conscious, still fully sentient individuals who have this look on their face of, oh no.
Oh no, I've made a terrible mistake.
I shouldn't be in this cult at all. They are gruesome. They
so
look like
creepy.
They are bursting out of these guys.
And we don't know how many other we don't know if these are just straight monopose models or if there are like options involved.
I'm gonna say by the complexity of them, they're probably fairly monopose.
I agree. But
I'm also going to wager that these are the three that we're gonna see.
Yeah.
And if we get more than that, fantastic. But if this is all we get, still pretty good.
Now, they're so horrible, and I have always wanted these like one of your problems that you've always said about Chaos Space Marines is that they're Space Marines with spikes on them, which I can't disagree with by and large. And so the addition of these horrible things is really helping their cause. I'm a big fan of the monstrosities. I always wanted the Chaos Spawn to be better than they were. They've never been good.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was going to say, one thing that's interesting is when you're doing this kind of monstrosity for Chaos, it's very easy to sort of shimmy yourself into a Nurgle corner.
Yes.
And while these guys painted in Nurgle colors would fit a Nurgle army perfectly,
Sure.
They don't have a specifically Nurgle look to
No,
them.
there's no pustules, there's no bugs. There's none of those hallmarks of an actual Nurgle army. Now, the other
No.
interesting thing that they've given us with all these cultists in the Oops All Cultists update is they've given us the Dark Commune. They're an HQ, and it's a group of them.
And this is where my ass hits the floor. Because as far as slipping, this is the end result. Because I mean, let's go ahead and say it. This allows you to have a full cultist Chaos Space Marine list.
And as someone who wanted to make an all Gretchen orc list, you are
Hello.
deep into the nonsense, terrible, too many model armies. And here you go.
I have a lot of Hormigons. I have what has been described as an unhealthy number of them.
An uncomfortable number, certainly.
When they're on the table, terrifying. Especially with those new rules. But yeah, no, these are great. They're a little Nazgul.
Yeah, they are, and I'm not mad about it though.
Fine.
The banner bearer in the center here is incredible.
Something about his armpit is.
I mean, it's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
That'll clear up.
A little powder, a little talcum powder there.
He'll clear up.
Take care of the humidity problem.
And then the guy with the head.
I love him so much.
He's so good. And it's like, great, you've got this massive psychic mutation. And now you need a thing to hold your enormous head up with.
But is that what's going on, or
I
is that
think so.
is that a severed head of another creature that's?
No,
I would love to see.
I think they were
like,
saying, if I'm remembering correctly from what they were talking about, I think it used to be his head, but maybe it's not. Because we can't actually see what's going on.
both situations are horrible because
None
you
of
can
it's
see the
good.
spine.
Yeah, you
So,
can.
To me, that feels like, but it could be both. It could be either situation. Like I don't know if the dude in the back has his own head.
Yeah, it's not
or-
good either way.
And this is what I love about these cultists. They go from just your basic cultist, I joined because I was gonna get a tax break,
Yeah,
to
like I was
an
doing nothing
increasingly
on spring break.
and increasingly more corrupted. But they're not corrupted just in I have a lot of skulls on my belt kind of way. Like
No.
some of these guys have literal demons bursting from their
They've
skins.
gotten gifts, and some of them are not
Gifts.
good, and they are all non-returnable.
Yeah, it is. How can I say, like they've managed to sprinkle a little bit of Le Cenobite on this particular recipe, and if as far as this 4-course meal goes, it adds the perfect soupçon flavor as far as I'm concerned. I'm big into horror. I'm big into Clive Barker, so
Yep.
this is a direction, and I'm here for it.
The end of this possession escalation is, of course, we've got new possessed Chaos Space Marines, which are definitely a nod to the old ones, but they're just better because the technology is new and better.
Yes.
And I do like that everything will become a crab. That's just evolution.
They're I mean, how can I say? They're the just Space Marines with more spikes taken to an unbelievable extreme.
Yeah. I do like that there's a dead Ultramarine.
I always like when there's a dead
Yeah.
Ultramarine.
They said these were on 40 mil bases. So these are big boys.
That makes them pretty massive. We've seen a picture during the preview of a mixed army, and we can see them next to Chosen Terminators, and they are roughly the same mass, if you will.
Yeah.
Maybe a little taller, even if a little less stocky, and that makes them mighty.
So the final thing that we saw in this chaos section of the preview is something that we'd already seen for Age of Sigmar, but it's the 40K version of the new Demon Prince. And what this one has over the old Demon Prince 100% is the faction-specific head swap options, which I am absolutely all about. Those are all very cool, especially because, like, the Demon Prince of Nurgle is not a great model. So to just be able to do this and then just, like, pop a head on, if you wanted to, you could just head swap. Like, you could just magnetize the heads and swap out as necessary.
Which seems to be what they did for the photos here.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is where, like, you need to you need to take a step in the grand world of imagination, because individually the head swaps, if you just look at the heads are wonderful.
Yes.
But these seem to be on a random body that doesn't necessarily fit.
Yeah, I'm
Because
betting
all the
it's-
colors.
Yeah, I'm betting it's
Like-
just because they didn't build 4 of them.
Yeah, that's very possible. This is very likely a 3D printed model. I'm not gonna go into 3D print stuff, but if you look, say, the Zench head, if the armor was like had deep blues,
Oh, yeah.
and the rest of the skin, because clearly the sort of backpack,
Right, the backpack.
everything's
is kind of
supposed
fleshy.
to sort of match.
Yeah.
Like, if it had the same skin tone everywhere, it would look wonderful, and the
Yeah.
same goes for all of them.
The old hand cannon there is very cool. Like you said, the sort of fleshy backpack. And you can still give it wings. Like, you can do your winged Demon Prince. And, like, it's everything from this and everything from the Sigmar version that we saw. And they're all available in one box, which is a heck of a kit. And
I feel like it's not going to take that much work to get 2 models out of that kit.
yeah, I mean, you'd be missing probably most of the body, but
Yeah, I can make it work. Because, I mean, you've got multiple tail options. We've
you get
seen
the
this.
feet.
You have claws or hooves.
Yeah.
You've got so many heads. There's at least 6 heads in there.
Yeah.
Because in that picture
Yep.
we just saw, it doesn't
had 5
have
and
the
then-
luchador face.
Right. Yes.
So
That was a lot of chaos and a lot of unexpected chaos, I feel.
it's interesting, because if you would have asked me before the preview, hey JF, what do you think they can add to a Chaos Space Marine Codex? And I've said, I don't know. Cultists, I guess. Like, I maybe some new spawns. I'm not sure. Like, I'm so not into chaos, because what we've seen so far with various codexes is always trying to add a new, different direction to take the army as a whole.
Right.
And for chaos, as far as I'm concerned, it's like, unless you're giving me like a thousand, well, not 1,000 suns because we have it, but let's say you're giving me an Emperor's Children Codex,
Right.
or World Eater Codex. If you're not branching out into one of these sub factions of Chaos Space Marines, I don't know what else you can do.
Right. They've done a
but-
good job of, like they have with every other army that they've released so far, of adding flavor.
Yes, which is good, and it's not just flavor as in, here's a Chaos Space Marine but with a different gun, which is like, we're gonna do an episode of this with Horus Heresy, and I'm gonna complain that every unit in that game is just different sets of guns, and be very, very bitter about it, and then buy a box and try to play it. But I still have issues, and I'm glad that's not what they're doing here. They're just went, all right, well, everybody wants cultists. Let's give them cultists. Let's give them so many cultists they can't even take it.
Yeah. So that was the majority of the chaos stuff. They did one more thing, which we'll get to. But this was something that you did sort of predict, if not specifically. And we did get this little bad boy.
It's Bad Girl.
Bad girl. I was boy with an I.
Oh,
yes.
okay, yeah.
The Hernkyn Pioneer.
I am trying so hard to not get into these guys. I am struggling to not be excited about League of Votaan, because
Yep. You
I've
don't
got
need it.
enough.
We're too deep, but
And
yes.
my brother wants to do League of Votaan, and I'm more than happy to give him exclusivity on that. But man, oh, if that one's not a difficult pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's the curves. It's like they were talking about, right? Because these guys branched off from the Imperium a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it does still have like some of the visual cues. Like it does look like somebody said the Castellan robot, which somebody put together.
Someone was very quick to mash those two images
And
together too.
It's very good. And I love it. She's great. As these are the pioneers, they said that they are super independent, so that's why they've got like all their camping gear and all of that.
They're going camping.
They're going camping to war.
Yes.
Their
Murder
little
camping.
hovers are very good. The fact that it's being held up by, it looks like that one tactical rock on the back
Yep.
is great. Looks fantastic. Love it.
Recently on Twitter, someone converted some squig riders to so that they would be bouncy squig riders.
Yeah, on springs.
And I feel like this is going to be automatically bouncy. It's not going
Yeah.
to be able to help it.
I feel like these are the ones, like, you could, I feel, do the magnet levitation thing if you really wanted to. Because they're not far off the base. I bet you could make it happen.
I bet
Someone
you
will.
could.
Someone will.
So yeah, it's I didn't predict so much as just
No.
anticipated. Like they were not gonna just give up on trikes. Trikes for squats have been a very important part of their kit, of their collection for so long. They were not gonna give that up.
No.
But I didn't expect them to show up on like Harley Davidson's either.
So there has been, since we've only seen the League of Votaan sort of alone, right? We've had no size comparisons. You did put together a size comparison for us.
Yes.
Because a lot of people were looking at the models and just going, that's just a Space Marine. Like, it's very clearly not Space Marine sized by any stretch. That person is small.
Yeah, so this is a comparison. Like, if you look at the thickness of bases, like you can see that they match up pretty perfectly.
Yep.
And this is an orc war biker. I have a few of those. They're 75 millimeter oval bases.
Yep.
So, not the smallest oval bases, but the second smallest
Yes.
oval bases.
Yes.
So that bike is teeny.
Teeny
It
tiny.
is. It fits in the palm of your hand.
And the person riding
And-
it is insignificant in size.
It is tiny. It is definitely a shorter individual. Like you can see where her feet begin, her head starts, and you compare that to the orc. And this is old orc. This isn't new orcs.
Right.
So even a little bit smaller. And yeah, these are probably a head and a half shorter than your typical Imperial Guard.
Right. Which is what people were looking for. So that's exciting. Like you said, like you, I'm not going to get excited. If Games Workshop sends us some, I'll paint some because that'll be great. But I'm not going to get
Absolutely.
into it. I'll do a kill team, which is why I love kill team, because I can justify my handful of models.
Which is my prediction for when they do announce Kill Team.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the only thing we're seeing for League of Votaan
No.
during Warhammer days.
No, I think you're correct. From the less exciting, no, it's actually not less exciting, but it is less exciting from a model building standpoint. But they did announce the next chapter approved and mission pack, Warzone Nephilim. Now, what's exciting about this is that once this book comes out, all of the points will be available for free online. Finally.
I really hope this is a pilot project
Yeah.
on their part, because this is one of those things that I've been harping on for probably a decade and a half. ever since Games Workshop collided with the internet, my opinion has been that they should put the rules out for free online and sell. They could still sell codexes. I am convinced they would still sell a bunch of
Oh
codexes.
yeah.
Um, Mostly because when I was playing the game a decade and a half ago, the best salesman, the most powerful marketing tool that Games Workshop had to constantly sell me models for armies I would never play was a piece of software called Army Builder,
Yeah.
which was not a Games Workshop product, but I would spend hours making lists on Army Builder and trying to figure out, well, what would work, what would be fun, what would be interesting, and then going out and buying models for them. And by selling rules first instead of giving them, you don't have that experience as much.
And not only that, but your barrier to entry. Like if you've got to start with $100 just worth of books, getting someone new in is real hard.
Well, I tried that. Like on a for kicks, I did create for a friend a starter pack.
Yeah.
A combat patrol box, core book, and codex for the combat patrol box. Painted it up, gave it to him, and that was damn near $500 Canadian.
Yeah.
And that is a combat. That's 25 power levels.
Mm-hmm.
It is the barrier to entry is they need to address it, and I hope that this chapter approved this Warzone Nephilim Grand Tournament mission pack
Yeah.
is an experiment in that direction.
Yeah. In terms of gameplay, one of the biggest changes for the coming season is they're changing how command points work. Armies are going to start the game with fewer, about half as many as previously, but you'll get more as the game goes on. So we've clearly been seeing a lot of turn one CP dumps to try and, knock your opponent out before they can even get their footing. This is a little
Guilty.
better. Well, I mean, it's the way the game was built, and you can't be faulted for that. So this way, it's not, it's not win turn one or go home. You can actually get to play the game. It's also going to have. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and this is just another interesting thing that they are saying that this approach is specifically for Warzone Nephilim games,
Yep.
not for all the games, which kind of gives you the impression that they are again using this as a test bed. Okay, well, we're going to try this different way of playing. If people like it, maybe we make it universal.
Right. But the understanding is that, going to tournaments, especially going to official tournaments, this is the mission pack you'll be playing in. And
is it just me, or are we seeing a lot of Necrons on mission pack? And
I mean, they've got a lot of good art, so I'm not really gonna. I can't complain.
No, I'm not
about that.
complaining. Just
Yeah.
observation. Sorry, I cut you off. You
No,
were
so
saying something
it
interesting.
the other thing that the book has is it has secondary objectives for every army. So it's anything with a codex that's already out. They are updated and balanced versions, and then for the couple of codexes that have not come out yet, like Demons or Astra Militarum, it has all of their new ones. And the nice thing about this is all of the secondary objectives have been written at the exact same time, so they're all balanced. So as opposed to our traditional, codex creep, they've done it in an all-in-one to try and balance things out a little bit.
I was chatting on a forum today about somebody was complaining, not complaining, but just remarking how League of Votaan are going to get their codicide or codex before Astra Militarum. And I said, well, look, there's two ways of looking at this. Yes, you're getting it later, but also chances are it's going to be the most powerful codex ever made.
Codex
Like
creep.
everybody, like every guardsman is just walking around with a battle cannon now.
Yeah. So then they did sort of one more thing us a little bit, in that they said that There will be something missing from the upcoming Chaos Space Marine Codex, and that is the World Eaters, because they're getting their own codex, like Nurgle and Thousand Sons have done. And we are getting new Khorne Berzerkers, which are, I believe they said, one of, if not the oldest plastic kit currently in circulation in 40K.
It is an absurd-looking plastic kit compared to what we're getting now.
Right. I mean, and that's just because of its age. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not how we do miniatures anymore.
Yeah, listen, I was there when they first came out in plastic, and that kit was not mocked and reviled back in the day. Like, people were excited. It's like, oh, look how dynamic they are. They're all running. They're charging. Isn't that cool? Isn't that great? And now we look at them, it's like, why do they prance? Like, what kind of ska music are they dancing to?
That's true. So they haven't shown us much. They did show us these axes that they've got the 3D models for. So I guess it's going to be like a hot second before we get them, but we will be getting some of the World Eater rules in White Dwarf. So they will be
at the same time as they're releasing the Codex Space Marines, so that you're not left hanging if you have a World Eater army when the Codex
comes out.
Here's what's very interesting to me about this is that this lays the groundwork for two things that I think people are going to be very excited about. And I feel like the Khorne Berzerkers, they're fine, they're interesting, but they're just refreshing an existing model.
Right.
But what have we consistently received with every other Codex Space Marine Legion Codex?
I mean, we've got new models, we get new heroes, certainly new named characters.
Primarchs.
Oh, yeah.
Every single. We got Magnus the Red.
Yep.
And we got Mortarion. So there is no reason we're not getting Demon Prince Angron with this codex. So Khorne Berzerkers are all well and nice, but I feel they're a distraction from the actual main course.
Yeah.
And these models have so far been incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what Angron's supposed to look like. I have a feeling it's going to be very bloodthirster flavored.
Right.
But,
heck of a flavor.
The other thing this predicts for me is that my original prediction for a Chaos Space Marine Legion Codex was Emperor's Children.
Right.
And they pulled the rug on me for that.
Yeah.
But if they're doing World Eater, I'm not saying they're going to do it tomorrow. I'm not even saying they're going to do it next year. But I feel that at this point,
Adam said not soon. Which
not soon
was a little demoralizing because I was pretty excited about Emperor's Children.
Listen, how long have they been mocking us about squats?
True. Oh, that's a good
point.
No,
I'm not saying like we're getting them next year. I'm not saying we're getting them soon, but I'm saying like Adam saying not soon doesn't have the weight it once might have.
You're right, because at Adepticon they specifically said no squats.
Exactly. So we don't know. Like, listen. I'm sure if there's something sculpted, sources will leak it on the internet, sucking the joy out of anyone.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm not, like I'm saying, I'm not saying we're getting him soon, but I feel that at this point it becomes an inevitability.
Yeah. It'll happen. So that's pretty much it for the Warhammer 40K preview from WarhammerFest. Now, I'm sure we'll get more 40K universe stuff on Friday with the box games between Kill Team and Necromunda.
I'm excited about Necromunda because everything I knew was coming out for Ash Waste is out in the open. Like we know about it now.
We know no more
Are we getting more vehicles?
I mean, we must.
Am I getting something for Delake?
I'm telling you, a Munster car or nothing. That's where we're at. So that's the 40K one. Tomorrow is Age of Sigmar, which again, if this is any indication, the models should be pretty
Listen,
spectacular.
listen, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear it? Do you hear the skittering of little paws and claws?
Yes.
Do you hear the whisperings of kill, kill,
Mm-hmm.
stab, stab? I
Yeah.
judging by the little banners they put up on the website, I feel we're gonna get some Sylvaneth type stuff, but there were also a couple of banners that had distinctively Skaven iconography on them.
And
I
with
don't
the
know.
new Underworlds warband that just came out.
There's the possibilities are grand. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not an active Age of Sigmar player, but I'm very curious to see what they will put out. Like I have Age of Sigmar models. Give me an excuse to paint them.
So come on back tomorrow to see everything that we've talked about. You can visit us on Twitter at Warham Workshop. And until then, we'll see you later. Okay, it's recording. Yeah. So whenever you're ready.
Oh, I do the intro.
You said you were doing the intro.